Well, hello, dear prayer partners and friends. Pastor Wolfgang here from Christ the King Lutheran Church in Cary, North Carolina, with your occasional video update about what's going on. This is July 4th weekend, so happy 4th of July to you. And I wanted to say a few words about this national holiday, which maybe is a little weird for me. I'm not an American, as you know. I grew up in Germany, so in some sense this isn't my holiday. And yet, you know, it really is, because I fell in love with this country. And one of the things I've always been particularly impressed about is how this country came about almost 250 years ago. I mean, I know there's all kinds of problems, right, with the American Revolution, because basically it didn't include people of color, and it didn't include women, and it didn't include white people who didn't own any property. So this whole business of freedom and equality, you know, that the Constitution enshrined really was very limited and very exclusive at the time. But I do think that the idea of it back in the 18th century was revolutionary and really represented a major step forward for humankind. And of course, then since then, we have worked very hard. Our society has worked very hard to be more and more inclusive and to spread that freedom and that equality to all people, particularly the marginalized. We do have a ways to go. We are in a time when we are even more aware of the institutionalized racism and white supremacy, and you know, we are talking about statues that need to come down that glorified the Confederacy, which stood for slavery. I mean, I get all that. But this weekend really is also a time to kind of celebrate how far we have come and to be cognizant of how much more we have to go. July 4th is a time when we like to sing patriotic songs, you know, like America the Beautifuls and other things. And I want to introduce you to a song that is one of my favorites for a couple reasons. One is, of course, the words. My friend Mike, who is with me, our Minister of Traditional Music, and who's going to play for us in a minute, will tell you this. Lutherans are very attentive to what songs say, to the words. And this is a song that's called This Is My Song. And it talks about how God is the God of all the countries. God isn't just the God of America. God isn't just the God of the United States. God is a God that loves all countries and all cultures and all people. This is my song, O God of all the nations, it says, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, my country, where my heart is, so patriotism is quite all right. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. And then he goes on to say, but other hearts in other lands are beating, with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. So it expresses this idea that while we love this country, rightfully so, and while we are patriotic, we are not nationalistic. We are not looking at this country as somehow above all others, or that it somehow is first in the heart of God. But God is the God of all creation and loves all countries. So these words were written by Lloyd Stone, who was an American poet. He wrote them in 1934, and he wrote them to fit a tune that is also one of my favorites, Finlandia, by Sibelius. Sibelius was a Finnish composer in the 19th and 20th century, died in 1957. And Finlandia, it's not the official national anthem of Finland, although it should be, because it's probably the most well-known one. You'll recognize the tune in a minute. I want us to sing that song, and I want to commend it to you if you haven't heard it before. And Mike is going to play it for us. I've recruited our Minister for Contemporary Music, Nathan, who's going to come and sing it. Trust me, he is a much better singer than I am. So my gift to you on this July 4th weekend, this is my song.